in times.
They didn't tell you why. They told you the reason why is he's coming back for the righteous, but they didn't tell you that he's coming back for a people. Then other people that receive Christ can be part of the righteous. But he's coming for a people. Y'all gonna get this.
Preparing our souls, preparing our minds. We trying to get chose. We aware of the times. He about to seal the elect. I pray that these psalms enlighten their eyes and wake up the tribes. It's almost that time. Would you agree? Hold back the four winds. It's almost that time.
Shalom, 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 peace and blessings, everyone. First, let's start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yah, Basham Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Also, let's pay our respect to the families of these individuals. 11-year-old Angelique Cunningham, 11-year-old Niyah Boyd, 17-year-old Deion Walton, 28-year-old Gerard Jackson, 18-year-old Nolan Wells, and the many others who I have uncovered while looking into the contradictions in regards to the accounts of what happened to Nolan Wells. Each of these cases have one thing in common, and that is life being lost while in the company of the heathens. This production is rated parental advisory due to explicit language from the shared video sources. Family, heed the warnings that are written in the book of the law and that are written in the history and present day of this wicked nation. Separate yourself from the heathen. And before anyone gets to crying about this topic, this is not me going against Gentile salvation, because I myself am one who believes in Gentile salvation, for it is written. However, it is also written for us to be a separate people unto Yah, and not to partake in the ways of the heathens, Gentiles, other nations, however you want to label them. We are and have been instructed to stay separate. They were allowed to sojourn amongst us, but they are to follow our traditions and not the other way around. This one breaks my heart. Let's edify.
This the moment we've been waiting for. At the border, sizing up the wall. Should we stay or go? Famine of the word coming, they censoring internet. They got bombs, we got angels with us. We a bigger threat. I know they see us calling chariots, and they scared of that. Echoes in all of my phone calls. They hearing that. Sending agents at me, I ain't fold. You finished yet? Watch my mama take her last breaths. Like, am I scared of death? So much oppression, why would I talk down on my brethren? Can two walk together lest they agree? How we gon' ever win? They confederate against us, and they got plans for us. They know about the 144K, and they paranoid. Watching revelation happen right before my very eyes. You don't believe Christ is the Messiah? These some scary times. I be in Ecclesiasticus, it keep me edified. Perilous times, it's in the book we knew ahead of time.
I know. With all of this prophecy,
Look around.
why would I lie to you?
Why would I lie?
The Father got his eyes on you,
Yeah, he do.
and he's watching closely. I know. With all of this prophecy,
Look around.
why would I lie to you?
Why would I lie?
The Father got his eyes on you, and he's watching.
Is it real? Really real? Really real? Talk that make you read your Bible. Give you chills, look around, it's the end of time. I ain't scared, I prayed for this in 2005. Now I'm here, is it real? Really real? Really real? Talk that make you read your Bible. Give you chills, look around, it's the end of time. I ain't scared, I prayed for this in 2005. And now I'm here, and I got angels with me. Yeah. I got angels with me if they come for me. It's power in the blood, this truth will make you free. You'll see, I got angels with me. Yeah. Edify, 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 edify.
Doesn't have anything to do with race. But it doesn't have anything to do with race. Bitch, it got everything to do with race. Because if it was some black kids that went out there with a Caucasian kid, and the Caucasian kid didn't come back, and when they found him, he was drowned, they would have locked all them black kids up and would have beat their ass all the way to the goddamn police station and wouldn't let them go until they found out what the fuck happened. So y'all can miss me with that shit. We tired of you motherfuckers.
As I stated beforehand, there is going to be some explicit language, nothing vulgar, just people sharing their raw emotions due to the current events. I can admit my flesh has flared up a few times due to these unforeseen tragedies. As the brother in the video, Jerry Conley, has said, we are tired. But how tired are we really? Are we tired enough to try something different? Like turn back to what brought us in this state of being in the first place? Or will we continue to walk blindly, hoping that the oppressors, will make us equals in a land that was only deemed as our punishment of being disobedient to the Most High Yah? But to look further, we must go into what everyone deems the white man's book. And when I say everybody, I'm not talking about my brothers and sisters in the awakening. I am talking about those who are still asleep and who have their minds still being manipulated and oppressed by these foreign nations. After we get out of these scripts, we'll look at a few of these clips. First, we'll go to Deuteronomy 28, verses 15 through 19 in the book of the law. And it reads, "But it shall come to pass, if you will not hearken unto the voice of the Most High Yah, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, that all these curses shall come upon you and overtake you. Cursed shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the field. Cursed shall be your basket and your store. Cursed shall be the fruit of your body, and the fruit of your land, the increase of your kind, and the flocks of your sheep. Cursed shall you be when you comest in, and cursed shall you be when you goest out." Now, it may not make sense right now, but as we go further along, you'll see exactly where I'm going.
This morning, investigators in Mississippi are combing over videos taken on Horn Island around the hours Nolan Wells was last seen alive, including this clip from social media that has gone viral, the contents of which are unclear.
I don't know the origins of that video at this point, but yes, we are looking into it. That's been brought to our attention.
Wells and his friends were celebrating the 4th of July. The sheriff now looking into claims from the mother of one of the friends, who says Wells decided to stay behind when a mechanical issue caused their boat to take on water.
I believe I'm aware that she said that, or she may have made that in a written statement, but as far as our findings of that, that's still part of our ongoing investigation.
ABC News confirming one of Wells' friends on the trip made a missing persons report to the Coast Guard around 11 p.m. that night. Wells' mother filing her own report with the Sheriff Department just after midnight. Authorities have said they believe Wells drowned, but the sheriff stressed their work is still ongoing to determine exactly what happened.
We're awaiting the state's autopsy report from the medical examiner's office.
Wells' family attorneys launching their own investigation. They allege his cell phone was returned with deleted text messages.
At this time, we do not have the cell phone that they speak of, and we've never had the cell phone, but it is to my understanding that we requested the cell phone for an extraction. We're working towards the same goal as the family. We want a thorough investigation, and that's what we're going to continue to do until we arrive at the answers that the family deserves.
And the sheriff says he and his team are still reviewing a substantial amount of video and images they have received from the public. And he says he welcomes that independent investigation the family attorney says they plan to conduct. Michael?
Yeah, a lot of questions still to be answered there. Appreciate you, Alex. And Nolan Wells' parents, they will join us in our next half hour. More on the mysterious death of Nolan Wells. We're joined by his parents, Christine and Elmore Wansley, as well as their attorney, Ben Crump. And before we get started, first off, I want to thank you for being here under these circumstances. I know how extremely tough it must be. And we can express how sorry we are for you and your family. And first question, how are you two holding up?
Taking it second by second.
Day by day. Second by second and day by day, which we all can understand. And I just want to ask you, the friends that Nolan traveled to Horn Island with, they say that he stayed behind voluntarily. Why would he stay behind?
That we cannot answer. I can't fathom why he would. I
don't know why he would. We always taught him to, if you go with a group, you stay with a group. Mm-hmm. Even when he was in college, he would say, "Dad, well, we're gonna ride down to a party or something in another city." Now, so I always tell him, look, if you go with 5, you come back with 5. Do not separate from the group. Because I always say safety is in numbers. Mm-hmm. And he always said, yes, sir. So he knew to stay with his group. So why would he split from his group? I don't know.
So that would have been unusual for him to split from the group. And you said he would always check in with you. Did he check in with you that day?
So that day, no, I don't. But of course, too, they were on the boat, and usually when he is out there, which it's not uncommon, he's I think since last year he's been going there occasionally with his friends, and so it would always just be like, "Hey, Mom, I'm back," type of thing. But this time there was no call or text from him; it was from his friend.
And then too, really didn't worry a lot about it because it was his last weekend to have fun because that Monday he had to report to school. And we was preparing to take him back for camp to prepare for the season. So, we're gonna see. He wanted to have his last little hurrah before he locked down and get ready for the season. Because, like I said, the entire summer he's training. He got more serious. He started to understand what I was trying to tell him about football, not just being fun, but as you get farther in it, it becomes a business. If you want to excel, and you have to understand, and you have to understand both at the same time.
And we know, Ben, that you said that you're going to do an independent investigation.
Yes.
And you say you have Nolan's cell phone and messages were deleted. How could you tell messages were deleted?
Well, his parents got the phone back, and that's something that's important, Michael, because they tracked this phone on Life 360.
So Life 360, but when I received the phone call from Warren, I immediately called my friend Tashima, and I said, "Hey, have you guys seen Nolan?" Because her two sons, Jalen and Javon, they grew up together. They played City League sports together. When they got into school, they played sports together. And so she was like, hey, okay, the boys were pulling up the location from Snapchat. So the Snapchat location looks completely different than the Life 360 location. So when I pulled up Life 360, it was different. It was showing everywhere the phone had been. I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land. I'm not. He's like, but no, he didn't come back with us.
Well, how were you able to get the phone?
So we tracked it, and my friend Tashima went and picked it up.
It wasn't like they said we got his phone. They tracked it, and that highlights all these contradictions, Michael. The fact that they said Nolan was talking to a young woman, and she said that he said, I'm going back to get on the boat with the boys. The boys said that he said he was going to stay with her. And so that's an obvious contradiction. And then this video of this, you can hear an argument going where Nolan is saying, give me my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing? And so then his phone ends up missing. I don't know any teenagers, Michael Strahan, who says, if you believe their story, I'm gonna stay behind and I'm gonna leave my phone. I mean, no young person leaves their cell phone. And so then there's so many things their parents were telling us about, even why didn't his body wash up with the tide on Sunday? Why would it come on Monday? It's not adding up. And that is the problem when you think about the history of Mississippi.
Yeah, so there's so many questions that need to be answered. And is there anything you'd like people to know about Nolan? What would you like them to know about your son?
No,
It's okay.
Nolan, take your time. Nolan was very loving. He was liked by all. It was not a friend that he couldn't make.
No, we'll be right back with more for the parents of Nolan Wells and attorney Ben Crump. We're back now on GMA with the parents of Nolan Wells, Christina and Elmore Wansley. And I want you to please continue to tell us what you want the world to know about your son.
So Nolan was just like this bright light, right? Walk into a room, his smile, his energy was just so infectious. It's almost like he drew you into him. And he was just one of those people, he always wanted everyone to be included. He didn't want anyone to feel left out. I remember one of his teachers emailing us. I can't remember what grade he was in, but basically it was math class. They had a special needs student, and she asked a question, and Nolan got everyone to put their hands down because he wanted that student to answer. And so student answers the question, and she was like, Christine, the classroom, Nolan went crazy, and everyone else started going crazy, just celebrating that child, making them feel included. And that was the person he was. Like, he loved everyone. And I always told Nolan, like, you know, you have to be careful when you have such a big heart like that. I love that God blessed you with that, but you have to be careful with that, because, you know, that it's not always returned, that type of love. But he was just genuinely a good person. Like, I always say, all the best parts of me are with him.
And Dad, anything else you want to add?
It's just, he's gonna be really missed. I know a lot of his teammates, they all look to him as a leader. He's more like a silent leader. Not real big on words, more action, which is kind of like I was. I really wasn't real big on talking. I really wanted to show you, and you follow me, and people follow him. And it's gravitated. He put in the work, he worked hard, and he knew he was focused on what he wanted. And he wanted to make life better for, you know, his family. He wanted to have his own family. He used to say, Dad, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. I said, well, son, you got to take it one step at a time. Slow down, let's go, let's walk this thing out. You know, let's train, let's sign our deals, let's make these teams, make these camps, put the work in, and everything else will work out. Even his baby brother, their bond got even stronger, because now I have a big brother that he's finna do something, so now I want to outdo that. So his focus and his confidence has got even better. So I was looking forward to both of them having outstanding years.
Seasons,
He seemed like he inspired in the home, and he inspired outside of the home. And Attorney Crump, where do we go from here? What's next?
Well, the deleted messages that Christina was going to briefly touch on, we want to get the phone and figure that out.
Backtrack on that. When we finally got his phone, me and my sister went through the phone. We went in his Snapchat. He had 2 accounts, absolutely nothing. It wasn't even 24 hours, which is how long videos and pictures stay in Snapchat. And I was just like, that can't be. Like, I've seen Nolan whenever he snaps, like when he goes and he's having fun, like he does videos. Like, there was absolutely nothing, no saved videos. And even my sister was like, yeah, that's suspicious,
Michael,
you know.
We're having an independent autopsy done at the behest of his family. Colin Kaepernick helped pay for the independent autopsy. We flew his body up from Mississippi to D.C. because they wanted an autopsy done by a person with no interaction with the Mississippi law enforcement, because there's an issue of trust here that is really important. And the fact that they keep trying to say, well, suggesting it was a drowning, but nobody out there reported him drowning, it's not adding up, Michael Strahan. It is not adding up.
And honestly, we are doing this because at the end of the day, I would hope any parent would fight for their kids to find out if anything happened, what did happen. So we just want honesty and transparency. We want a thorough investigation. We want that same respect that would be given to anybody else, and that's it. We just want answers.
Well, we really appreciate all of you being here. We hope you get the answers that you deserve to have, and we hope you get the closure that you need. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Mike.
And here we are again, waiting on the state of Mississippi to do what is right. But will they do the right thing this time, or continue to drop the ball like they have with cases like Emmett Till and other cases that are more current to today's time? I don't even have to do too much talking on this. Others have done the research and have came to the same conclusion that I have. I'm clipped up. Let's play the clips.
Y'all are not going to believe this. Chief Medical Examiner Stacey Turner is the same medical examiner from the Trey Reed's case. She's the one who deemed Trey Reed's death a self-unaliving
after he was in some problems with 4 white boys. So it's the same thing that happened, y'all. Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all get the likes up. You are not going to want to miss this one right here. And make sure you hype this video.
Okay, what is your name and your job title?
I'm Stacy Turner, and I'm the Chief Medical Examiner of the state of Mississippi.
How long have you been at DPS?
It will be 5 years as January 1st.
What do you love most about your job?
I really love the people I work with.
She loved the people that she worked with so much that she's willing to lie on these young black men and deem their unalivings self-unalivings and totally ignore that they were around white boys. Check it out, y'all. It gets deeper. It says State Medical Examiner Dr. Stacy Turner ruled Trey Reed's death a self-unaliving. Trey was found from a tree at Delta State University, Mississippi, y'all. Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Stacy Turner has been accused of falsifying autopsies of black men before. Yes, she's been lying. This is why Benjamin Crump is going to transport Nolan's body to Washington, D.C. I believe he should get there tomorrow, y'all. Make sure y'all get the likes up. Put this video in the algorithm so our people do not lose the fight. We have to be optimistic about this whole situation because this stuff is happening for a reason. Everybody in Mississippi about to be exposed, y'all. In July 2021, she ruled Damian Cameron's death undermined despite arriving swollen, bloody, and bruised. So everybody that's unalive that's black, she ignored all the signs. And why did they have to identify Nolan's body through his dental records? Why is that? There's something that they're hiding. 2 deputies had knelt on Damian's back for 20 minutes before his... Come on, bro. Make sure y'all get the likes up.
Shout out to the works of the brother Big Kish, and that leads us to our next few verses in the scripts. We'll now go back to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, this time verses 29 and 37. And you shall grope at noonday as the blind gropes in darkness, and you shall not prosper in your ways, and you shall be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save you. And you shall become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Most High shall lead you. Trey Reed, like the other unfortunate individuals, were amongst a group of Japhetic people or in the care of a Japhetic individual during the time of their last breath. Before we dive deeper into the contradictions regarding to one Nolan Wells, allow me to shine light on the other individuals whose lives were cut short just a few months prior, days before, and also on the exact same day.
This Gerard Jackson story is so fucking crazy. The Nolan Wells story has been so fucking loud. This story hasn't been getting no fucking attention. Have y'all heard the fuck going on? How they lynched that boy? Nigga, this is an obvious cover up, fam. Let me lay y'all down the story just a little bit. So, there was pretty much a situation in which they're from Illinois. Gerard Jackson rented a car with his friends to go to this festival and shit. You feel me? And on 6 days ago, there was the police was called in which there was an altercation amongst him and the group. Okay, all right. That following morning, okay, was when those boys told the police, his homeboys told the police that we last saw him around Gerard around 10 a.m. that morning. This the following morning, okay, all right. 2 p.m. he ended up dead, hanging in a fucking tree. His car, the car that he rented, was found 2 or 3 miles away from where he was fucking hung. Okay? And not only that, during that time while he was already fucking dead, his Apple Watch was used at a local gas station and his Apple Pay with his phone and shit. And he didn't have his phone on him, dog. He didn't have his phone on him. You feel me? The little white boys and shit who he was with, they returned home. I said, oh, we haven't heard from him. You feel me? Like, he went AWOL. He went missing. The same Nolan Wells type of situation. You feel me? So, his parents found out the death through the news. Okay, so the parents had to call the police station. Like, what the fuck going on with my son? They were like, well, yeah, he's deceased and We'll give you more details later. All right. Hours passed by. Later on that day, his stepfather called out to the police station, like, what the fuck happened to my son? I said, oh, you didn't heard? He was hung. No, he was hung. He killed himself. It's listed as a suicide. The death has been listed as a suicide. So they proceeded the following day, okay, to get the funeral home to pick up the body from the coroner, okay? All right, and as the funeral home was proceeding to go pick the body up, the coroner said, hey, no, you can't pick up the body because there's been an emergency, okay, cremation on the body. We doing a cremation and the case has already been fucking solved. Hold on. Because they said they was gonna do a cremation because there was no next to kin. There was no next to kin. Reporter, hold on. We've talked to the police on multiple occasions. What the fuck you mean? So they was finna get ready to cremate the boy, okay, without even speaking to the family. So it was an obvious fucking cover up, dog. Fam, there's a war going on out here. And black and brown people is the motherfucking target, fam. It's the target. Bro, we got to spread this story around because it can't get ignored, dawg. This shit is crazy.
This shit gonna keep happening. Y'all think we fools. I'm pissed. If you don't like no cussing, scroll the fuck up. So you have 28-year-old Gerard Jackson from Illinois who was found hanging after attending the Electric Force Music Festival out in Michigan with his group of white friends. Now, allegedly, he had rented a van for him and his white friends. He was the only black dude. He even drove them down there and everything to this festival. A word on the street is that he had gotten into an altercation with one of the friends in the group, and the police was called over for that incident. His friends is telling the parents and family that he had a mental health crisis, that he walked away and left off their campsite because of this crisis. Mind you, his body was found in a wooded area at that festival. They really haven't done no investigation. They just believe in his white friend's story. Not only that, they classifying it as a suicide. Not even doing the proper investigation. The fuck? Bitch! Hear me out now, y'all. I'm tired of this shit, y'all. It's the same fucking story. And then people gonna be like, oh, you race baiting. Yes, I am, nigga. I'm just bringing awareness to it. Yes, the fuck, that's what it is. Who the fuck walk around with a fucking rope? Tell me, you tell me a black person is gonna walk around with a rope, go to the woods, and hang himself. You telling me a nigga can't just crash the car, slit his throat? And again, the Nolan situation. You telling me that a black kid just wanna drown himself? Get the fuck on, bro. like, I'm getting so tired of this shit. It's only happened to black kids who goes out with white people. This is not for all white people. I know all white people is not like this. This is for the ones who is like this. Y'all don't even agree with these motherfuckers. R.I.P. Gerard Jackson, prayers to the family.
Look at all the police out here. And the bitch is right there, free. Right there. Right there, y'all. She right there, this little white trash bitch is right there. Waving at my life. Bitch, where's my niece? Your daughter right there. Where my niece at? Where my niece at? She right here, y'all. She right here, y'all. This white bitch right here. She free walking with her ugly ass husband. Right there, there's the white trash right there. Free walking. And she know where my niece at. Bitch, this ain't funny. Where my niece at?
Becky, calm down, Barrett.
She right here, y'all. The bitch that was last seen with my 11-year-old niece is right here, free, walking the streets. Free. Free. I'm sorry, but this is, I help raise this little girl. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. I help raise this little girl.
Look, I don't know.
I'm about to hyperventilate, bro. Please calm my sister down. Please calm my sister down.
I'd like to talk to both of y'all, but the thing is, I can't have you screaming out.
But how's she free though? How's she walking free right now?
Can I explain something to you?
My niece is probably dead in the...
Breaking as we come on the air at 6. Today, first responders suspended the search for a missing Toledo girl in Lake Erie. This is a story we have been following on Action News since noon yesterday. It's been around 48 hours since the 11-year-old was last seen Wednesday evening when she left to go on a boat trip. And now charges are being filed against a woman who was reportedly in charge of watching over her. 13 Action News reporter Matt Mergen has those details tonight. Matt, what can you tell us?
Sasham, this search spanned across 2 days and it was conducted by multiple different agencies of first responders. And that, like you said, that search was suspended earlier this afternoon. Like I said, the search consisted of dive teams, several different rescue boats, and even aerial assistance from Jerusalem Township, Oregon Fire and Rescue, Toledo, and the Lucas County Sheriff's Office. Officials say a male and female were also on board the boat with the 11-year-old. The male's body was later found in the lake near Minekey Marina. He has since been identified as 38-year-old Jonathan Sia. The female on board swam to shore and was questioned later by authorities. Now, as a result of this tragedy, 41-year-old Kristen Jerry from Toledo was arrested by LCSO on a charge of endangering children, a misdemeanor of the first degree. She was then located and booked into the Lucas County Jail.
We're at the point where we've exhausted all those resources and all the tools at our disposal, and unfortunately we've not come up with the missing girl. So now it's time to suspend the search.
The detectives filed a charge of child endangerment regarding this case against the female suspect, and she will be arraigned in Oregon court.
And Jerry is being held on a $50,000 bond. It is alleged that Cunningham went missing from the boat under Jerry's supervision within just 15 minutes after the boat left the marina.
17-year-old Deion Walton, he drowned on the 4th of July. He was out with his teammates at his coach's house, and he drowned in the lake. Now, Deion played basketball, he played football, and he ran track. But his parents said that he was a mediocre swimmer. They say he did good when it was like in the shallow part, but when it came down to deeper water, he didn't swim that well. So the lake, it was in back of the coach's house, and the kids were jumping off of the pier and they were swimming to the island that was in the middle of the lake. Well, you know, the kids are getting across it. When Deion jumps in, he gets a cramp when he gets into the water. So they say he tried to turn back around to try to get back to the pier and try to get a floaty, and he's yelling for help. But I guess apparently, allegedly, none of the other children heard him. When the kids realized that he hadn't came out of the water yet, they went in to try to look for him, and for 30 minutes they couldn't find him. Then the coach came out. He tried to look for him and couldn't find him either. Now, a lot of people are pointing out the fact that the school that Deion went to, it is predominantly white. There's only 2% of black children that go to that school. If you look at this picture right here, the entire football team is white. There's only one black kid in there. And then as you can see, the coaches, they're all white, wearing white. So some people are saying that it might be some foul play involved, but me personally, to be honest, I don't think it is. I mean, he caught a cramp in the water, and that can happen to anybody. And then, I mean, you're in the middle of it. If you can't swim, you're going to drown. And I don't know if the children could have heard him or not, because the thing about it, when kids get out of the water, they're going to be making a lot of noise. They probably was over there just talking, being loud. They probably weren't even listening for that. You know, as parents, we teach ourselves, we train ourselves to listen for stuff like that. But kids, I don't think that they think like we do, you know. So, I don't know, give me your input. Condolences to the family, and I just pray that the family...
Here we are again. Another teenage boy dies while he's with his white friends on the 4th of July while he's swimming. This is Deion Walton, and he wasn't just a student. He was a talented multi-sport athlete. He played Pop Warner football, high school varsity football, varsity basketball, track and field, including AAU track. On the 4th of July, he was hanging out with his friends at a pond in Covington County, Alabama. He was with his football team and the coaches, and they decided to celebrate. So they all decided to do a swim race to see who can get over to the island. So they jumped off the pier and started swimming. During the race, Deion started cramping. He started screaming and saying, "I need help." They said Deion started struggling as he was cramping in the water, but Deion went down before the teammates and the coaches could get back to him. They said that he went down really fast. The football team and the coaches are saying that by the time they turned around and got back to him and swam back to him, they said he went underwater and never resurfaced. And you wonder why we feel like this is an attack. This is happening to predominantly athletic Black children. They're all swimming together. How is it that they got that far ahead of him and no one could help him? Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, and make sure you share so people can be aware.
This is Niyah Boyd. Niyah is 11 years old, from Alexandria, Louisiana. The story that I'm about to post about Niyah is for awareness for all parents and children, but also for justice. Niyah was invited to a pool party. Niyah was pushed in the pool, and Niyah drowned. This story has so many twists and turns, but there are a lot of questions that need to be asked. Niyah was pushed in a pool by another kid. That kid mom has came to the internet and is saying that that kid was Niyah's best friend. The problem is, number one, Niyah had already expressed that she was scared to be pushed in the pool, or she had been advised that she was going to be pushed in the pool, and that scared her. So for anyone to horseplay at a pool, that was already the wrong mistake. I'm also concerned that they were not being properly supervised. Because how did Niyah get in that pool and drown and no other kid did? And it's being said that her and another little girl was pushed in the pool, but that little girl was also scared and was holding Niyah down. And the girl who pushed Niyah in the pool supposedly rescued the one little girl and thought Niyah was out of the pool. But it's being said that Niyah was in that pool for 4 whole minutes. Why are little kids this age even horseplaying at a pool? And why was that many kids at this pool and not supervised, one adult per child? Because at this point, this is way more serious than the little girl mom is downplaying it to be. Because now the text messages have surfaced, and this is a conversation between her and the actual person that pushed her in the pool. Now, you all are welcome to pause this, read it. You're welcome to go to this person's page and read it. But this is the little girl's mom that pushed Niyah in this pool. And regardless of you asking, can somebody swim or not, If you know that your daughter's having a pool party, it is your responsibility to make sure you're there. So when she says, I wasn't supervising no other body's kids, huh? Watch this. This is another mom that's calling out the mom of Trinity, which is the little girl that pushed Niyah in the pool. You know, it just seemed like nobody's wanting to take accountability for what has happened. And this is sad because an 11-year-old little girl lost her life. And the only thing the mom of the other little girl is doing is making up a bunch of excuses. But at this point, yeah, I would definitely want justice for my child too. Niyah's entire family is calling for justice. Some of the people that was at that pool party is calling for justice. They're waiting on the detectives to do whatever it is that they need to do. But let me say this. With all of the recent drownings that has happened, I'm going to suggest that nobody allow their children to go to a pool party if, number one, they know they're not a good swimmer, and number two, there is no adult supervision. Because horse playing at a pool can cause an accident. A kid can get pushed, hit their head on the pool, fall to the bottom, and become unconscious. So there's too many risks when you send your child to someone and expect for them to watch your child. And now an 11-year-old little girl life is gone. She's not coming back. And it's my understanding that that Niyah's mom has lost another child before. So this will be her second child that she has lost. So behind all that anger that she has right now, there is some grief that is heavy, and heavier to bear. Y'all send some prayers out to this family, and I just really hope that they get justice, because this right here was not called for. And whoever pool that was, baby, you getting sued, because your pool is the liability.
This here is Justice Kaya James, 20 years of age. He went off to Turner Job Corps in Albany, Georgia for a better life. Now, June the 21st, he was out at the curfew area with his girlfriend around 8:30 p.m. And at 9:30 p.m., they went looking for him and he was hanging. Now, the person of interest is a Caucasian student that was questioned and has admitted that he had something to do with the hanging. Now imagine sending your child off for a better life, and it's not going to be a better life for anyone.
You mean to tell me we could have another hanging in Albany, Georgia? This young man right here is Justice Kai James. He was found at the Turner Job Corps, and he was found hanging from a fence. First reports did state that there was no cause of death at that time, but with further reports now, they are trying to say that he self-unalived himself. Black people do not hang themselves. According to some of the students that are on the Job Corps campus, one of James' friends was online and asking people if they had any information to, contact the police. And they stated this one right here said that he did it. He confessed and everything. Mind you, he's in Job Corps right now. He's been sentenced to Job Corps because he unalived someone and they decided to send him to Job Corps. Of course, Justice James' family is asking for transparency. They want another open investigation. Something happened to Justice. Now, there have been active protests from the students because they know something happened and they feel like the employees are covering up. Of course, there's not a lot of news coverage. I am seeing a couple of people are talking about it. So guys, we have to get this story out. Looks like Yunti Tia was talking about it. A couple of celebrities are talking about this as well. Again, black people do not hang themselves, okay? But y'all tell me what y'all think about this in the comments. Again, if you have any information, please contact the Albany, Georgia Police Department.
Albany, Georgia. I don't know what the fuck going on down there in Job Court, but we need boots on the motherfucking ground, you all. They said a young man got laced by a white person. We need boots on the ground. We need boots on the ground, y'all. What's going on in Job Corps down there in Albany, Georgia? What the fuck going on? We need boots on the motherfucking ground. Answers. We need answers. What the fuck going on in Job Corps?
I'm here with a former student at Turner Job Corps in Albany, Georgia, where a young man named Justice Kyle James, they said he passed away, but y'all believe he was hung. What made y'all believe that?
The reason why I made it believe that because 3 white boys confessed to his murder. They said that they did it to him. They laced a vape with some controlled substance drugs. The people at Turner Job Corps trying to hide his death because, you know, they don't care about none of our living, our well-being there. The boy who admitted to the fact that he drugged him and hung him on the fence, they let him go home. They said they let him go because he was very mental, which is, I know that's cap because now he's online saying that he did it and nobody can do nothing to him. So
you got any? The proof that he's saying he did it online.
I just went live actually. Hold on, let me screenshot that. He just came through live and said I did it and I used the rope. Hold on.
Good.
Oh God, it was just live. Just live.
And how you saw his family?
Just so we are clear, none of this is okay and none of this is normal. It has been 1 week since the body of Gerard Jackson was found hanging in a wooded area in Michigan right outside the Electric Forest Festival that he was attending. His death was ruled a suicide. It has been a little over 2 weeks since the body of Tone Miller was found hanging in a park in Miami. Her death ruled a suicide. It has been a little over 2 months since the body of Juliana, 16-year-old, found hanging near a church in Charlotte. Her death ruled a suicide. It has been about 4 months since the body of Kyle Basinga was found in Georgia hanging. None of this is okay and none of this is normal. It has been less than a year. It will be a year in September when they found Trey Reed's body at Delta State University in Mississippi. His death ruled a suicide. And you may be asking, Rashonda, well, how many black people walk around with rope on them? The answer would be none, Helen. 0. Because none of this is okay and none of this is normal.
I cannot express this enough. Prayer to all the families of these individuals, and I am praying that your loved ones get the justice that they are due in this godless nation. I have a few more things to go over before I share the eyewitness statements that contradicts the stories that are floating in the media. While searching social media looking for answers on what happened to Nolan Wells, first I will share a couple more verses, then we will have a look at some of the savage nature of these heathens. We are still in Deuteronomy 28, but now let's jump down to verses 47 through 50, and it reads, "Because you service not the Most High Yah with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shall you serve your enemies, which the Most High shall send against you, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck, until he have destroyed you. For the Most High shall bring a nation against you from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue you shall not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of old, nor show favor to the young."
I need y'all to listen to this video, especially black people, because everything that he is saying is the truth. This is exactly how they feel. Not all white people feel this way, but white people like him, they feel this way. So listen and listen closely.
Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, we did it. We sure did do it. What you think? What you think we do when we take y'all young men camping with us? You know them boys don't know how to swim. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You throw them in that water. We say, swim, boy, swim. Woo! Learn how to swim, boy. You can't do it. You can't do it, boy. Y'all ain't ever gonna learn how to swim. This is a tradition. We take you boys out in the woods, and we throw you in the swamp. We throw you in the creek. We throw you in the springs and rivers. Yeah, we throw you in them oceans. Y'all can't do a damn thing. Y'all be in there splashing and screaming, I can't swim, I can't swim. Oh, hell no. But you know, it ain't our fault. It ain't our fault you're fucking stupid. Grown man don't know how to swim. Yeah, what y'all think we do? You know, yeah, it's a big conspiracy. You know, every 6 months this skin tone, we all get together in our neighborhoods and we have like a little neighborhood meeting. Y'all ain't invited. We get together, we make plans, we talk about y'all, talk about, yeah, let's put this one in football, you know, let's put this one in basketball. Yeah, let's encourage him to do that and this. Yeah. We bet on y'all. Man, we just play y'all like a damn game and y'all don't even know it. This is a tradition. Been going on since the beginning of time. And y'all still in the dark. And you know, I thought I'd go ahead and tell you, but even me telling you, it's still just gonna be conspiracy and nobody's gonna be able to prove it. Yeah. This happens all around the nation. All of us are involved. Every single one of us. Mm-hmm.
I hope y'all listen to everything that he said, because everything that he said is the truth. And that's exactly how they feel. It's been so many cases where our young black boys are dying exactly the way he said.
You can swim down, River, you fucking retard. I think I'll stay here. Bro! How am I gonna get you back home? You don't think Mama Marquise is gonna be worried? Yeah, your mom? My mom's name. My dad's your mom is always worried about you. My dad's in prison. I think that's why. Because your dad's in prison, we know, we can tell just by looking at you. Bro, we get it, you can't swim, but bro, just go get a kayak. You have a fucking life jacket on, Marquise. I'll just wait. Bro, you have a life jacket. No, I'm black. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna save me. Bro, yes it does. Bro, I'll just find a way. Hey. Yeah, they think I'm about to swim back, but I can't. Bro, you have a life jacket. I'm gonna die. Standing right Hold on. You have to go. I'm just trying to get over there. Get over there. We taught him how to swim. Oh, so I can just like hold on to the back.
Stay here if you want.
Yeah, I might drown.
You won't drown.
Bro, you won't drown. You're not gonna drown. I promise you won't drown.
There you go.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Huh?
You know what's your name?
Oh, my name is Marquise. But everybody calls me with Mark because I go to like Denellen.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was okay getting over here. And they think I'm about to swim back. I can't even swim.
Good job right now.
Probably around 4 minutes. And it's my first time here.
It's your
First time? Well, welcome.
Yeah.
How'd you get over here?
They made me take that way over there, and they had 2 life jackets on. I'm never coming back with y'all. Yo, we told you if you were coming, we had a life jacket. A life jacket. This ain't even for a big kid, this for a little kid. Oh my God.
You're welcome.
Get the highlighter, I light higher, he's a higher light. Bond with him, like bonfires on a quiet night. We forge demons to get from bias. Be Messiah like scorch demons, like wildfire. We the fire type, spirit wall. They not our equals, this is not a fight. Don't get involved, just delete them like you ain't typing right. When Abba calls, you must receive them like you the satellite. Use this light as a tool of might, you know, hammer type. No Thor, no folklore. This ain't cap, dog, this so important. This spirit wall, this ain't no rap, dog. You can't ignore it. Like cold sores, that's a fact, dog. Money what, that's not important. This ain't about no racks.
Okay, family, we just had a tiny glimpse of these people's true nature. This is exactly how a lot of them feel when it comes to our children or our loved ones losing their life at the hands of one of their own. Believe it or not, these are the same exact people who are running the judicial system. I am going to share 5 more verses of the curses that was promised to our ancestors if they broke the covenant with the Most High Yah. Back to Deuteronomy 28, verses 63 through 66. Then I will jump back up and finish with verse 32. And it shall come to pass that the Most High rejoiced over you to do good and to multiply you, so the Most High will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, and you shall be plucked from off the land whither you goest to possess it. And the Most High shall scatter you among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there you shall serve other gods, which neither you nor your fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shall you find no ease, neither shall the sole of your feet have rest. But the Most High shall give you there a trembling heart, and a failing of eyes, and a sorrow of mind. And your life shall hang in doubt before you, and you shall fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of your life. Now let's jump up to 32. Your sons and daughters shall be given unto another people, and your eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in your hand. Now let's poke holes into the entire media press story that the sheriff and the stepmother judge put out. First, let's look at one of the first posts in the Horn Island Facebook group asking anyone if they have seen Nolan. His mother's July 4th post reads, "Please be on the lookout for Nolan. Last seen was west tip north side of Horn Island today around 3 p.m. Remember this time, 3 p.m. July 4th, wearing blue shorts and sunglasses. Please keep in mind this 3 p.m. time frame. It is very important. There was a shorts color discrepancy earlier due to the last time that his mother seen Nolan was on July 3rd because he spent the night over at a friend's house before heading out to Horn Island. Her not seeing her son since the day before had her relying on the description from others." In another post, I found where the black shorts description came from. If you pause your screen right here and read, you will see that this lady gave the wrong description and the wrong island pointed out by another commenter directly under her. By the time of this recording, everyone knows exactly what Nolan Wells was wearing. Let's get back to the post. It's unclear if he made it back on land. There's some information that came up, whether he made it back on land or not. We will touch on that later. Please message me if you have seen him or have information about his whereabouts at or after 4 p.m. Again, remember this timestamp. Also, we're remembering 3 o'clock p.m. and we're remembering around 4 after 4. These are very important timestamps. Now, if we scroll the post, you will see everyone talking about Nolan stand behind with a girl named Katie. One of the people, they were saying that the son thought it was a different Katie that went to school with them, but if it's not, then it's another Katie. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And this is Katie McCormick right here. And for the record, everyone, I'm not saying blah, blah, blah about the young man's situation. I'm saying blah, blah, blah about their going back and forth about these Katies and how it could be a cover-up for a Katie that went to school with them. Let's get back to the actual deception detection. Now, this Katie McCormick girl is their main reason for Nolan to stay behind and talk to and not get on a boat. But she's nowhere in the sheriff's report when it comes to Nolan. Pause your screen and read for yourself. Let me know if you see Katie McCormick or any mention of Nolan staying behind to talk to any girl in the report. Also notice one of our key time frame slots are missing, and that's 3 p.m. Where's 3 p.m. in the report? Nothing to see here. Let's now take a look at the statement given by Katie McCormick's aunt, Gracie McCormick. Katie had a conversation and assumed that Nolan was getting ready to get on the boat he came out in. Katie made it home because she was on another boat and with different people. Katie was safe because my brother and sister-in-law went and got her. Katie assumed the friends telling him to get on the boat wouldn't have left him. Me and my family have talked, called, and are sending up prayers to bring Nolan home. We have given all the answers we can give to his mom and authorities. I don't know about y'all, but when I was reading it, something just threw my discernment levels off and it just kept pinging me back to it. It's something that I read in there that's bothering me. Comment below if you believe you know what it is. I want to know if I'm tripping or not. This is something I just picked up as I'm recording this, and I just keep reading it over and over and over again. And for those who need proof that this is indeed Katie's aunt, here's your proof. They are relatives. And believe it or not, we have another Katie that's going to make a special appearance later. And this Katie has some very important information.
Volunteered to stay behind, and he volunteered not to have his cell phone with him.
Yes, it's definitely unusual for any teenager to part with their cell phone. This young woman, Katie, who's been cited in these various recollections of what happened that day, do you know if she's been identified? Has anyone spoken to her?
She has been identified. I do not know if anyone has spoken to her. Again, we just have not heard much, right? From our local authorities, which kind of we're glad that we have kind of taken this course, however it may end. We're glad we did because just because of this right now, not, being able to have that communication. I just would think with situations like this, they would be more forthcoming, like, hey, let us keep you up to date. We understand the seriousness of the situation and, what you guys are going through. So yeah, but we don't know. We've never met Katie. I've never seen her in my life. She did reach out to me initially, just saying basically like it was a hey and bye type situation. And I was like, that's not what I'm getting from other people. So like I said, before, a lot of inconsistencies, and we just want transparency and a very thorough investigation, just like they would do for anyone else.
I've been seeing Nolan Wells' face all over social media and in the news, and I think that's great. However, because these gentlemen deleted all their social media accounts before Nolan Wells' body was even found, we haven't really been able to see them in the media. These are the 5 men who are alleged to have been with Nolan on that island. These are their names, these are their faces, and we should know them and see who they are. So Eli, Eric, Warren, Wyatt, Morgan. We should see their faces, we should know their names too. This case has really reminded me, man. I remember I was coming up and I thought my mom was just so prejudiced, about stuff. She would tell me different things and talk to me about dealing with police and, the things that I would have to worry about. And I would push back against what she would tell me. And all she would say is, just keep living. Just keep living. And as an adult, I understand. I understand what she meant by keep living. How do you leave without your friend? And even if you left without your friend, how do you have his phone? And not only you have his phone, but you didn't turn it over to his parents. You kept it. And if it wasn't for Life 360, they wouldn't have found his phone. It just reminds me, I remember when the Kendrick Johnson thing was happening, they found that boy rolled up in a mat at school. Whether it's Jelani Day, really Tamla Horsford, I think is her name. Like, back to Emmett Till, like it's a repeat offense. It happens way too much. They had to send this boy's body to Washington, D.C. to have an autopsy done. One of the boy's mom, stepmom, is a judge. She already released a statement. And what's really alarming is that I'm seeing more and more content that wants to point the finger in other directions. No, let's figure out what's going on with his friends first. And also, allegedly, they were at lunch and they said, well, y'all already decided that we did it. What do you mean? Your friend is missing. Why aren't you helping his parents search for him? Why aren't you going through his phone and his deleted text messages? Like, I'm not surprised. It's just so hurtful how disposable we are to them. Nolan Wells deserves so much more. I hope his family gets justice. I hope that the truth is revealed. I hope they can do a forensic search on their phones and figure out what they were deleting in there. And it just makes me sad, man. Prayers to the family.
So instead of going to look for Nolan, you decide it's best to just sit around and eat. I would not want friends like you guys. Then you delete your social medias before a body turns up and you're saying that everyone is saying you all did it. What was it to do? Everybody's saying you all did what? What did you do? Everyone is saying you all left Nolan because from your own record, you guys say that you left Nolan. That's from the mother, I almost said mother-in-law, but that's from the stepmother who's the judge. I don't know if she came up with this story for y'all or y'all came up with this story for yourself. But if anyone is saying you guys did something and that was leave Nolan behind, what else would they be saying you guys did? Like, what is the reason? So leaving someone behind on an island is reason for you to delete your social media? No. It's something else that you guys are covering up. And on top of that, you guys lawyered up. The person who you all said that Nolan was last seen with, the Katie McCormick girl, she's corroborating. She hasn't lawyered up. Neither has she deleted her social media accounts. I'll tell you who did though. The next day, Breakfast 5. I don't know if all 5 of you all were there doing breakfast. But then again, we don't know if all 5 of you all was on a boat. But I know at least 4 of you all were. Because who would have took this picture right here if there was only 3 of you all on the boat with Nolan? Somebody had to be holding his camera. But then again, if there was only 4 of you all on the boat, why did 5 of you all take down your social media? Plus the judge mom, so that makes 6. We're getting there. We're getting there. Excuse me, everyone. These are the parts right here that makes my flesh flare up because they think we're stupid. They think people are dumb, and it just bothers me. But all right, let's move on further with the deception detector. We will return to the Leave a Brother Behind 5 after we're done with the current sitting judge, who deleted her social media platform and then brought it back, who also figured it was a bright idea to speak publicly and about an active investigation as a sitting judge. Not to mention there is a conflict of interest due to one of the deleted 5 being her stepson. Let's see what special interest Judge Ashlee Cole Traherne. Wait, isn't Warren's last name Hudson? Anyway, our family, along with the community, grieves the loss of Nolan Wells. Our thoughts and prayers are with Nolan's family. Our son Warren loved Nolan dearly. Unfortunately, I feel that it is appropriate for our family to dispel rumors with facts based upon the social media attention that is being diverted away from the Wells family and their loss. Yes, I deactivated my Facebook, given the very heightened emotional. We're not going to read all this, y'all. All right, let's just jump down to paragraph 4. No one in our family is trying in any way to impede with the investigation by law enforcement or otherwise hamper the family and law enforcement's quest for answers. Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and cooperated fully. He saw Nolan last around 3 p.m. Told you, I remember the 3 p.m. time. On July 4th, they left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taking on water and they had an issue with the bilge pump. I'm not into boats, so don't come for me. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends. Man, I almost forgot. Jump up one sentence above. Very important sentence. My husband and I were not at Horn Island at any point on 4th of July. I can't believe I almost left this out. This is a crucial piece of evidence right here too. And the next piece of evidence, you'll see why. Now, those two may not have been there, but another particular two that are very close to Warren Hudson was there. And these, well, one of them happens to be Katie Hudson Seymour, Warren's biological mother. She was actually there and speaks on the accounts of Nolan Wells. So before Katie could get the memo, someone reached out to her and got accounts on what happened that day before she can be told the story that they were going to run with. Let's see what she had to say about that day. This information is brought to you by Mr. Boogie Lowdown on Facebook. That was a smart move by reaching out to her that early. It reads, "Good evening, Mr. Lowdown." She meant Lowdown. "I am Warren's mother, the woman you have been talking about on Facebook and posting pictures of our family. I am here to tell you that we all, Nolan," I don't know what she meant there, "and are all deeply distraught. Your information is not correct, and I ask you to please stop posting about Warren and our family. My son did not ride out with him, nor did he come back with him. The boat that Nolan was supposed to get on, Wyatt boat, he repeatedly asked Nolan to get on the boat at 5 when it was Let's pause. Now remember I told y'all to keep up with that 3 p.m. timestamp and 4:30. What did the judge's statement say? Warren said they last seen Nolan at 3 and they left at 4:30. Why is Warren's mom out here saying that at 5 Wyatt was telling Nolan to get on the boat? Let's finish reading. He repeatedly asked him to get on the boat at 5 when it was time to leave, but Nolan wanted to stay with a girl and their boat was parked next to his. He was insistent about staying with this girl. Wyatt asked him several times to please get on the boat, and people heard him. My son loves him and would never in 1,000,000 years leave him. Warren does not even have a boat. Nolan has been our house several times and he is the sweetest friend. We all adore him. Again, when Wyatt asked for him to get on, he said he wanted to stay, and Wyatt's boat started to fill with water. His boat ended up breaking down and was towed in. I don't know this girl that he wanted to stay with. I can just tell you, though, my son had nothing to do with it in any way, shape, or form. A matter of fact, he was the first person that noticed he was missing when they got back to their friend's house and called his mother, the Coast Guard, and the sheriff's office. Warren is a very responsible and always is keeping up with everyone else. Reportedly last seen at 3, but Warren's mother saying 5. Let's continue reading. Responsible and always is keeping up with everyone else. He was not on the boat again. Please stop hurting us. My son is beside himself. I never seen him like this before, and I ask you to please stop the blame. This is not the boy's fault. Nolan wanted to stay with this girl and was insistent. I asked you to take my picture down off of your wall and my son. I brought my other son out there and I saw my son Warren briefly and took a picture that we were not out there with them longer than 10 minutes. I don't know how you are trying to link it all together, but I am just Warren's mom and I love Nolan very much. He comes to my house several times and I'm so sad. Please keep this down and look for this. And look for this on prayers finding him. As you can see, her statement is not he say, she say like the judge's is. But guess what? She brought Warren's brother out there. Guess who that is? Morgan Seymour, the other guy who deleted his socials. That is Warren's brother. That's Morgan Seymour. Let's finish up Katie Hudson's statement. I meant low down, not roll down. Also, I just want to let you know this whole day we have been looking for him. It has been devastating. I don't even know any of this was being said. I had friends with taking pictures of these messages. I am going to get off social media. I was advised as this is very destructive. I just ask you please take it down as I don't want us to get any more message about this. And what do we have here? I went to Facebook to get a picture of Boogie Lowdown's profile so you guys can go show him some love for all the hard work he putting in. And then he posted 3 hours ago, the Coliseum is trying to charge $82,000 to Nolan's parents for their funeral service. I guess all that celebrity money brings vultures out. Keep your foot on their neck, Boogie Lowdown. Good work you doing over there, brother.
Wait, unless there's 3 Nolans, this don't make no fucking sense. What this person who claims to be a friend, who Nolan's mother said is not a friend, what he said just will crack the whole case wide open again. Now, this is Tristan Shepard, claims to be a best friend of Nolan Wells. A lot of people thinking he might have been a plant because Nolan Wells' mom says she don't know him. But this is the crazy part. Listen to this whole video because this is crazy now. Y'all remember the scene where somebody yelling and everybody thought it was Nolan? Well, Tristan claims that's him. But the thing that he just exposed is he said that Nolan was around this area, even though that wasn't him getting into the altercation at that time. Nolan was around this area, and he said this was the metadata said it's 4 o'clock. And we know these guys said they last saw Nolan at 3 o'clock. And then one of the boys' moms said that they repeatedly asked Nolan to get on a boat at 5. Now I ask you, why do we have 3 separate times? A friend who hasn't even spoke to the family coming out and saying he's Nolan's best friend, but the mom saying he's not his friend. And then on top of all that, we just got the sheriff of Ocean Springs saying that we're not going to be rushed. But the family says you haven't talked to them since Tuesday, which has been a week. And none of these people, including Javion, said that they hadn't even talked to the authorities. And I don't like it. What have I told you? Some ain't right.
Off the rip, you're lying to me. I can't believe it. And I won't believe that.
I saw that today for the first time, because really a lot of folks who were there have been silent. We saw, people taking down their Facebook. It was almost an instant reaction that people went into to protect themselves. But Tristan Shepard described himself as Nolan's best friend. He gave an interview saying that he was the one who was yelling in one of the viral videos that people had been questioning, and said that it wasn't Nolan in the video, that it was him, and that Nolan met a girl that day that he really liked, even though he'd never, interacted with this girl before. Her name was Katie. Have you spoken to Tristan since Nolan's passing, and how are you responding to his account of what happened?
So first of all, we don't know Tristan. We've never met him. So to say, best friend, childhood friend, that's a bit of a stretch. We've never met him. He's never been to our home. Now, if you were to say that about Jalen or Javon, I would say absolutely. You could say that those are childhood friends, those are best friends, because they've been to our home. We know their family. We're close to, their mother. But this young man, I maybe high school, they started hanging out or, kind of been around each other. But again, we don't know him. And not to discount anything he has said, which of course, still trying to rule those things out. But I mean, he has communicated. He did offer his condolences, which we appreciate. And he did let me know about that tidbit, which of course, like I've been telling everyone, if you have any information, forward that over to the local authorities. Make sure also forward that over to our legal team as well, just to make sure that we're looking at everything.
And this girl, Katie, who has been cited. Oh, yes, Mr. Crump, go ahead.
Let me say this to the young man. Not only does his parents, but some of his friends, they reject this notion about, he said, oh, he would just volunteer to stay. They're saying Nolan would never do that. So his friends are saying he doesn't really know Nolan if he's saying that Nolan volunteered to stay there. And we've had so many people now calling our call center saying where there was this argument and then 10 minutes later, there was another argument. But those people have called said, no, Nolan was in an argument. And so now we have to continue to investigate to try to figure out everything that happened. But we absolutely do not accept that he volunteered to stay behind and he volunteered not to have his cell phone with him.
All right, we heard it from Nolan's mother herself that this guy isn't a best friend or a close friend. She doesn't know him. Nolan probably started hanging out with him in high school. Someone did some digging into his life on this post. That's him. We know they all like them girls right there. And then as you see, this is his mother and him when he's a child. I looked at his report to see if Nolan was mentioned. He mentioned Nolan was not on the island during the altercation. He was in the water nearby. And that's all I looked into his report for, was for those timestamps. And we know all of this contradicts the 3 o'clock last seen time frame. Now, speaking of time frame and timestamps again, let's look at this. Matthew Lamp, this guy said around 5 p.m. that there was fighting. And then someone asked, were they fighting someone else? Then he said they were fighting amongst themselves. Now, remember, Katie Hudson, she was out there at the same time on this island. We finna jump back there. Now I have these two specific images back up here because we're going to look at the time frame and what activity was taken during this time frame and match it up with some images. Now, we have all seen and read that she was out there around 5 o'clock, and she said she was out there no longer than 10 minutes. They took some pictures on her boat, and Warren actually got on her boat. Now, let's look at these images. Image number 1, this is Nolan and Eli Jacks with their arms around each other. And then over Eli Jack's shoulder, that is Warren Hudson on his mother's boat. That's his little brother behind him that's at the cockpit of the boat, I believe that is. And this person cut off, that's most likely Katie Hudson. Last seen at 3, but we have a 5 o'clock image of Nolan Wells standing with Eli Jacks. For imagery number 2, you have the original on the left and then the enhanced version on the right. That is Katie Hudson and Warren's little brother, Morgan. I didn't get any source of panic of emergency having to leave from any of these photos. And also, Katie Hudson that is, she mentioned that Warren did not ride out with Nolan and Wyatt to the island, nor did he return back to inland, as they call it, with Wyatt on the boat as well. So how did Warren get out there? If you showed up, Katie Hudson again, if you showed up around 5-ish, how did Warren get there? Also, Warren doesn't own a boat, so who brought Warren out there? The boys had an emergency boat incident and they had to leave around 4:30. The judge. 5 o'clock, Katie Hudson. But here they are. This account says they were still there when they was leaving at 7:30. And look at them. They're partying. Ain't nobody trying to leave. What boat incident? And then we got Officer Doofy. I didn't start on Officer Doofy because Officer Doofy is what Officer Doofy is. He already assumes that there was no foul play without doing a thorough investigation. And then this bogus GPS reporting that magically matches the timeline that Warren Hudson so-called told authorities and the judge for 4:30. I don't trust any of this. Let's keep rolling. Remember, he so-called told this story to the sheriff, but in the first sheriff report, there is no mentioning of any of these timelines.
Elmore Waters, father. Okay, so the situation with the key. When we got to the house, a few of his friends, they were already there. And they were at the door in the house, asking questions. So when I walked up, they were getting, things were getting kind of tense. So I turned to them and told them, I need you guys to calm down. I don't do this to me right now. I need them to kind of trust me so they can give me something. So I was able to calm them down. So the guy, he's in one of the pictures, when he came out of the room, half asleep or whatever, I think Jack's or whatever. And I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. I'm here to get his keys so I can get his car. I said, he's like, his car's in the yard. His car's parked in the yard. So he was like, I don't know, man. Nolan's like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go in your room and see if you can find my son's keys so I can take his car home? He walks off, 2 or 3 minutes, come back. I can't find the keys. I said, okay. So at that point, I get the boys and I get to move them out the house because I didn't want them to go into the house and start tearing up these people's houses because there'd never be a hole in the situation. So we walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jack's guy's Xbox in the house because apparently she was there with him earlier. So he goes back up to the door by himself, and 5 minutes later, the keys come out. So now I feel like you done lied to me. So now I'm really like in distress with you. But as far as the night goes, if I knew anyone who had a boat, I would have went out that night looking for my son. We tried, but I don't have friends with boats. But if I knew someone with one, I would have went out that night. And this so happened that his coach saw all the stuff on Facebook that next morning and contacted me at like 5 in the morning, asked me, did we want to go out? And I told him yes. So within an hour, he was at the dock. We met him and we went out. We docked the boat, got off the boat, walked on the island, walked a pretty nice stretch, came back, got back on the boat, went around the island, looked, came back around, and where we went to, that's where apparently they say that his body floated up. I don't know a lot about water currents or there, but I would think that we would have saw his body. And on the trip there was a family that stayed a night on the island, like actually tented out on the island. So if he was left, he would have saw that family on the island, and it was 2 other boats docked, so he would have had help. So I don't know. I don't know. I think we stayed there for like an hour and a half. That's when Jackson County and the Sheriff Department showed up, and they were going to do their rounds. And I had a classmate of mine, him and his 2 boys, they came out and they searched, and then they got back in touch with me and said the Coast Guard had finally showed up in airplanes. So
what is so critical, what Elmore is saying, is they went out on Sunday, and the tide, if it brought his body up, he went missing on July 4th, as they say. His body should have been there on July 5th. Why would it not appear to July 6th? And that's one of those things that's just not adding up.
And yep, there you have it. Another clip that says it all about Nolan Wells acquaintances. Everyone is looking for Mississippi. I'll say it again, Mississippi to do the right thing. The only way that will happen is if the Most High gets involved. Nolan's family is up against some powerful individuals in Mississippi. While I gear up for the closing remarks, I'll share a few more clips.
What did I say? What did I say? They're setting up the official narrative. Oh, my mom's a judge. We'll get away with it. Mom, the judge, is now setting up the official narrative. Nolan decided to stay behind. We don't know what happened. We don't know. We have no idea. The boys just showed up with his cell phone, but we don't know what happened to Nolan. He decided to stay behind. It's his fault. And then there was another one of Nolan's friends, another one of these little boys, talking about, oh, the group that he hung out with, they like to do certain types of substances, certain types of drugs. They are very clearly trying to set this up as, oh, Nolan was doing drugs and he overdosed and died. Stop hanging out with white people. Do not be the only black person in a group of white people. Nolan can't defend himself. He cannot defend himself now. They can say whatever the fuck they want about him, and no one can defend him because he's dead. This is what happens every single time a black person dies. Cyrus Carmack Belton, shot in the back, couldn't defend himself. Ran for his life, couldn't defend himself, and they got to say whatever they want at that trial. Nolan is dead, cannot defend himself. Carmelo Anthony, he's alive, but the fact that he defended himself, do you see what this is? Do you see how this goes? The Tamla, that sleepover, the only black person that has sleepover full of white women, marks all over her body showing she had been abused and bruised, and somehow fell over the balcony of the back of this house. But it was a suit. They don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. White people will always protect their own. They will never put their well-being and lives on the line for us. They won't. They won't. When it comes down to it, even when they're in the wrong, they're going to back each other. Stop trying to sidle up to whiteness. Tokens get spent.
Black people, you have got to teach your kids, especially your kids that are hanging out with rich white kids. That is not good. You got to stop letting them hang out with rich white kids. This Nolan Wells situation, Never should have happened. The parents of Nolan Wells should have known better than to let him hang out with these kids. I have an older son. I'm not saying it's the parents' fault, but I'm just saying it happens all the time. My older son is half black. He looked more black than he did half. But he got into a similar situation. He was fighting with a bunch of rich kids in North Atlanta, the North Atlanta suburbs, the richest neighborhood in Cherokee County, Georgia. And he was fighting with a bunch of boys over a girl. And lucky for him, he didn't wind up dead. He just wound up locked up for a while. But it could have wound up with him being killed. And, you know, we as parents, we have to do a better job in informing our children about who they should and shouldn't hang out with, because matters. The color of your skin matters, especially when you're hanging out with a bunch of rich kids that have, you know, doctors and lawyers and judges as parents. You know that your kid is going to either wind up locked up or dead. So my heart goes out to Nolan Wells' family. I really hate that it happened to him, but you gotta protect your children, because white people will kill your children at the drop of a hat. That's just the way it is, especially these entitled little rich white kids. God loves you. I love you.
Nolan Wells was murdered, but people are afraid to say that. You can't tell me that he wants to stay on a fucking island 10 miles off the coast without his phone or wallet, and his friends are like, oh, he just wanted to stay there. Really? How does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. Okay? Especially, you know, it just hurts, because I have a lot of black people that I'm close to in my life, and to see how like a young black man's life was just thrown out and there was no regard for it at all, and people, and you have media talking about how he chose to stay out there, there's no foul play suspected. When are black people going to get the same treatment and the same justice that white people do? It's absurd, and it happens again and again, and nobody does anything about it. It just keeps happening. Okay? Say his name. Nolan Wells. Say his name. Nolan.
My apologies, everyone, for how long this recording is. This case requires a lot of coverage, and there is a lot of things that I had to leave out due to it almost reaching 2 hours. However, if you stayed tuned this long, thank you for spending your time with me while I piece this case and lesson together. Now, Henry asks, when are black people going to get the same justice as whites? If you are depending and waiting on them to give it, the answer is never. We have already went over the curses of what would happen if our ancestors broke the covenant with the Most High Yah. So now let's look at a few verses to see where we are instructed to separate from the heathens. Also, what we should be doing in the places where we are still captive. Yes, I said captives because many believe that America is our homeland, and that is not true. I have the DNA proof. In fact, no one is actually native to the Americas. Different groups arrived at different times and viva different ways. Now, let's take a look at these verses. We'll first start in the book of Exodus, chapter 34, and we're going to scroll down to verse 12 and finish at 16. Take heed to yourself, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, whither you go, lest it be for a snare in the midst of you. The word snare just means trap. I don't know if you ever watched anybody like hunt for rabbits. They say they're making a snare, like you watch any of those survival shows. A snare is just a trap. So take heed to yourself, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, whither you go, lest it be for a trap in the midst of you. But you shall destroy their altars, break their images, and cut down their groves. Trees. Groves is like trees that they worship. Christmas, all that pagan stuff. All right. For you shall worship no other God, for the Most High, whose name is a jealous Elohim. Lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land and they go a whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their gods, and one call you, and you do eat his sacrifice. It's speaking about eating a sacrificial meat to these false gods. And you take of their daughters unto your sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make your sons go a whoring after their gods. This is one of the things that happened to King Solomon in his later years from all those wives. He went exploring knowledge and whoring after their gods, and eventually caused the northern and southern kingdom to happen, because Israel was one at first and then ended up splitting after King Solomon went a whoring after all these false idols. All right. Now turn with me to Joshua chapter 23. We'll be starting at verse 6, and finishing at verse 13. Be ye therefore very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, that you turn not aside therefrom to the right hand or to the left. That means stay on a straight and narrow path. You can't veer off the road. That ye come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves to them. But cleave unto the Most High your Elohim, for you have done unto this day. For the Most High have driven out from before you great nations and strong. But as for you, no man have been able to stand before you unto this day. One man of you shall chase 1,000, for the Most High your Elohim, he it is that fights for you, as he hath promised you. Take good heed therefore unto yourselves, that you love the Most High your Elohim. Else you do anywise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go unto them as they to you. Know for a certainty that the Most High your Elohim will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall become snares. There we go again. They shall become traps. And see, look, snares and traps unto you, and scourge in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from off good land which the Most High your Elohim have given you. And behold, this day I am going the way of all the earth, and you know in all your hearts and all your souls that not one thing hath failed of all the good things which the Most High your Elohim spaking concerning you. All are come to pass unto you, and not one thing hath failed therefore. Therefore it shall come to pass that as all good things are come upon you, which the Most High your Elohim promised you, you shall the Most High bring upon all evil things. That was the things that was in Deuteronomy 28 that we read. Until he have destroyed you from off this good land, which the Most High your Elohim have given you. When you have transgressed the covenant of the Most High your Elohim, which he commanded you, and have gone and served the other gods, and bowed yourselves to them, then shall the anger of the Most High be kindled against you, and you shall perish quickly from off the good land which he hath given unto you. And we have noted, and we know that this happened, but this is the beginning of all that for you all who never read the Bible before, because someone lied and told you it's the white man's book. This is actually your history if you're an actual biblical Israelite and you possess the E1B1A DNA. Again, I have proof and I can back my claims about the DNA. All right, these next couple passages we'll be reading from are after a remnant, that means not all, of the southern kingdom was able to go back to the kingdom of Judah after doing what? Being released from the 70-year Babylonian captivity. Why did they go into captivity? For breaking the covenant with the Most High Yah, going after other gods, interacting and mingling with the heathens in their homeland. And so we're in Ezra chapter 9. We're going to be reading verses 1 and 2. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations. Even other Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yes, The hand of the prince and rulers have been chief in this trespass. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard and sat down astonied. This was Ezra saying that. He the one that plucked off his hair because he know what they all just came from, the Babylonian captivity, and he does not want to go back in captivity. So let's jump over to Ezra chapter 10, and we're going to pick up some more. Okay, in chapter 10, they was willing to do a certain thing to correct their wrongs. Let's jump down to verses 10 through 12. We might read a little further than that. Let's see. And Ezra the priest stood up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed and have taken strange wives to increase the transpass of Israel. Now therefore make a confession unto the Most High Yah of your fathers, and do his pleasure, and separate yourselves from the people of the land and from the strange wives. Then all the congregation answered and said with a loud voice, As you have said, so must we do. Yeah, let's keep reading. But the people are many, and it is a time of much rain, and we are not able to stand without. Neither this is a work of one day or two, for we are many that have transgressed this thing. I mean, many of them have taken these strange wives, mingling with the heathen. All right. Let now our rulers, all the congregation, stand, and let them which have taken strange wives in our cities come at appointed times, and with them the elders of every city and the judges thereof, until the fierce wrath of our Elohim for this matter be turned from us. They didn't want to go back in captivity again, but as we know how the story goes, ended up in captivity, and then the ultimate captivity of them all, which was led by the Spanish crown and the Pope and the Papal Bull. But before that, you had the North African Berbers who were enslaving them, aka Idumea, the Edomites, E1B1B. If you're new to my channel, you can find all this information in my video listing and playlist. The video you will be looking for is The Forbidden Truth About Your DNA, Part 1. I am currently working on Part 2. Part 2 is going to be something nasty. It's going to be good information, but y'all not going to believe the crafty counsel and the history of these heathens when they come to manipulating the education system. I will be speaking on one of their favorite prototypes. Yeah, I'm going to call him a prototype because his work is not his own. Charles Darwin and the rest of the Victorian era scientists. Let's jump to where the Most High Yah had Moses forewarn the children of Israel about those nations in Deuteronomy chapter 7. When the Most High Yah shall bring you into the land whither you goest to possess it, and have cast out many nations before you, the Hittites and the Gerishites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you. And when the Most High Yah shall deliver them before you, you shall smite them and utterly destroy them. You shall make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shall you make marriages with them. Your daughters shall you not give unto his sons, nor his daughters shall you take unto your sons. For they will turn away your son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy you suddenly. This was Ezra was scared of. But thus shall you do with them. You shall destroy their altars and break down their images and cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire. For you are an holy people unto the Most High Yah. The Most High Yah have chosen you to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. He chose the Israelites as his heritage, and they disobeyed him, so he punished them. But he also, there's so many prophecies. You guys just have to stick around, check out my page, or check out some of these other guys' pages. You could check out Bro Tim Stevens, or you could check out K Judah. You can check out We Woke Now. Yeah, you can check out those channels. And you could even stay and rock with me. I mix current events with biblical prophecies. No, a lot of us do that. I tie it back with the DNA all the way back to the ark. And here in Genesis 15, we'll stop here real quick. There's something very important we need to read. Let's go to verse 13. And he said unto Abraham, and he said to Abram, because he's not Abraham yet, Abram, know for surety that your seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. And you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, and for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Now, a lot of people like to say this is Egypt, but that is false. He said 4 generations. And then between Abraham and Moses, that's like 5 to 6 generations. And then the only one who went in was Jacob and Levi. Jacob and Levi was not under affliction. I don't even think Coham, I don't think he was under affliction. The affliction didn't come until later. It was only like 200 something years. But yeah, that captivity is the American captivity. You have to be afflicted for 400 years. There was no 400 year of affliction in Egypt. And again, the 4 generations, that math doesn't add up for Egypt. But off topic, let's get to what we're supposed to be doing while being in captivity. And then we'll finish up with the closing remark. Sorry for how long it's taking. All right, let's look at these wise words that were given to our ancestors in Jeremiah 29 during the Babylonian captivity. These same rules will apply to us in the daughter of Babylon captivity. The Most High will want us to do the same thing. Thus said the Most High of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build you houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. Take you wives and begot sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that you may be increased there and not diminished. Seek the peace of the city whither I have caused you to be carried away captives. Pray unto the Most High for it, for in peace therefore shall you have peace. Do not be out here causing strife, teaching with darkness in your hearts. Do not put a target on our back. When the persecution kick off, we already know first ones they coming for. Hey, they come for me. I'm not denouncing. So it's going to be off of my head. All right. But teach in lightness and not darkness. I don't see how you guys don't get it, but that could be me having a stubborn heart again, trying to realize why the Most High may have you doing a certain thing. But that hate teaching, that ain't where it's at. For thus said the Most High of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, let not your prophets and your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you, neither hearken to your dreams, which you caused to be dreamed. For they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, said the Most High. Somebody telling you the Most High sent them to deliver a message to you? Don't listen to them people. You can really discern when someone has the spirit on them because the light in them will show. If you see evilness, hate in their message, and man, I'm telling you, it's a lot of people out here falsely teaching. There's a lot of false doctrines, and it's true. Everyone be careful out there. With that being said, we have reached the end of this lesson. First, we went over a few of the curses that was promised to our ancestors if they disobeyed the rules of the Most High Yah. Furthermore, we looked at a few different passages where they were forewarned not to join themselves with the heathens. Main reason was because the ways and traditions of the heathen nations are snares and traps that will turn you away from keeping the covenant between us and the Most High Yah. The heathen Gentile nations literally punished our ancestors for keeping these very same customs. Throughout history, it is all documented. Also, we went over what's instructed of us while in these different places where we were taken away captives. Build amongst your people and seek peace. Just because we dwell amongst the nations does not mean that we should take on their customs. Lastly, Leave these heathens behind. They for sure don't mind leaving us behind. And to the family of all the individuals who have lost their loved ones, I beseech that the Most High be with you all in these tough times. Everyone, thank you for tuning in.
We just wanna be free. We just wanna be free. Oh, but show us your love. We just wanna be free. We just wanna be free. We need strength from above. We just wanna be free, 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 freedom come. We just wanna be free, 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 freedom songs. We just wanna be free. So much violence, don't wanna watch the TV. I see my brother shot down, I see me. We just wanna be free. Love your neighbor as yourself and be free. Too much bloodshed, no it ain't easy. We just wanna be free. Lying politicians on the news, they gon' keep them sleep, gon' keep them snoozing. The riches of this world don't feel they loose. Never sell your soul in with that movement. We done made a covenant with Yah. Walking purpose, knowing who we are. Freedom coming, promise to the stars. The world where war is at ours. Free, 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 freedom come.
Clap it up. Y'all about to be so happy right now. They got his ass. Who am I talking about? Well, there was this racist, fake Chud the Builder mustache guy who came out on the internet and said, yeah, we did it. Yeah, this is tradition for us. This is what we do. Speaking about Nolan Wells. He can't swim. Can't none of y'all swim. This is what the racist guy was spewing. And when I say we got him, I'm talking about we got him. If y'all don't know who I'm speaking about, we're going to go back and listen to what he said, because he had me a little mad at first. I ain't gonna lie. But then we got his ass. I mean, they done fired this dude. They done got it where as though they start pulling this guy's records. They know his real name, everything. And then he got a nerve to hop online and sound like he wanna cry. No, you wanna be like Chud the Builder, huh? Yeah, you wanna be like Chud the Builder? Yeah, there you go. Check it out, y'all.
Yeah, we did it. We sure did do it. What you think?
After everybody caught your ass, found out who you was, and then try to say it was satire? Watch this, y'all.
They found him. He has now been identified as Remington Lane McCall, and he is from Jacksonville, Florida. So
don't cry now, Ninja!
People looked into his public records, and they found additional information, like the fact that he was charged with battery, and that's why his wife divorced him. Not only did he beat his wife, but he did so in front of small children. What an amazing job he's doing. Thanks to this queen right here. She posted all this information. Go give her a follow. And, of course, if they found his name, they found his job. He works at a place called Clary & Associates Professional Surveying and Mapping. And while I was looking at their website, I went to look at the reviews, and people are already leaving reviews asking them to fire him, because why do you have a racist working for?
Keep it real. Y'all loving this? Y'all loving this? Keep it real. Ah!
It's over.
Woo!
They got me. They know my name, my address, everything. You know, I knew it was going to happen. After the Walmart video went viral, all I got was just constant threats. Then the other video went viral, and then that was a definite, they would find out who I am.
He gonna cry in the car.
What? There's that. Well, I guess, my followers out there that don't know my name. My name is Remington. But yeah, I guess we'll see what the fuck happens. Still stand by everything I say.
Oh.
He looks like he wants to cry.
And then the FBI reached out to somebody related to me. I don't know why they didn't reach out to me. I don't know why they haven't come talk to me. But they asked them if I had anything to do with the what's his fucking name? Nolan. The Nolan Wells situation, because of the video of me mocking these idiots, retardation, saying those boys did it. And I guess I said, we did it, but...
So y'all can read it. What I don't even know, LOL, went to go speak to my boss this morning before everyone got there. I'm walking up to the building and I can hear the phone ringing inside over and over. So I knew it was them, told him what was going on, and he already knew. So I left him the keys to the work truck. So he already knew he's about to get fired. I left him the keys to the work truck, and that's that. Everybody in my family is telling me I don't need to be home. Yeah, get your ass up out of here. We ain't tolerating that. I need to go somewhere. I love this. I don't know. Pretty shitty at the moment. I don't know. I need to find a all-white company somewhere to apply. I don't know. He don't know a lot. You sure is putting out a whole lot of I don't knows for somebody who know what had happened to Nolan Wells. I don't know if that will even work. My company was all white. All Y. When they put the Y right there, that mean white. When I started 6 years ago. So it was all white when he started 6 years ago. The owner
Kal halaya bahasham Yahawashah Hamashayak Abanakwam Yasharala Shalawam.
You only ever know. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. I made a promise, can't nobody take it. I chose to put you above all the nations. Out of your graves, I chose to awaken. We made a covenant, don't you forsake it. Come get protected while they going crazy. Israel, my firstborn, my baby. Israel, my firstborn, my baby. I woke you up in your land of captivity. I do not change, I want you to remember me. Laws and commandments, I gave you the remedy. Go read the testimonies for your memory. I sent them prophets, but you wasn't hearing me. I come to you if you really come near to me. I heard your cry, now it's time to take it to me. I'm the one got you from all of your enemies. Who you know open the sea. Them waters was bitter, but I made it sweet. In case you ain't know how to swim, I'm your protector, so I made you walk on your feet. This a reminder you married to me. I just want you to be all I called you to be. They called you niggas, but I made you priests. I'm about to give you back everything. I'm sending plagues for you. I'm sending boys, drying up rivers. I leave them dead for you. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go. You heard what I said for you. Tell Pharaoh, let my people go. You heard what I said for you. For you, you only ever know. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel. I'm the reason you in captivity. We made a covenant, you ain't remember me. You broke the covenant, I sent your enemies. Get out my land since you wasn't fearing me. I'm the reason they put you in chains. I'm the reason they switched up your name. I'm the reason why you in the hood. I'm the reason of all your pain. I'm sending floors, fires, daily. Think I don't love you. Y'all my babies. Gave my son, must be crazy. Come out that system, come out of that lady. They got that military, it would not faze me. It would not move me, it would not graze me. Remember Egypt, I did all that for my people. You only ever know. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. You only ever know. Y'all the main ones I'm watching on my throne. Created everything, but I called you my own. That land I gave you, put my name on it, my home. Yeah, that's my home. Israel.